So, hey guys, how are you today?
It's a great day. No complaints.
Doing wonderful. Beautiful day in paradise.
You want to introduce yourselves?
I'm Karl,
I'm Chris.
and we're two blind guys, and we're going to talk about blind life and just our experiences and hopefully make things easier for somebody else that's going down this road or maybe a family member that's trying to figure out how to help, somebody or a friend that's got somebody that's losing their vision, and just share this with whoever you think would benefit.
Perfect. Yeah, I agree.
Right. So, you're both in your 50s and you're both legally blind, but you have very different vision stories. How would each of you explain your specific vision in a simple language that everyone might be able to understand?
And this is a funny one because I only got my vision diagnosis in the last 2 years. And so for my whole life, I've known I had problems with my eyesight, but I didn't know what my problem was. And the thing that I noticed first off was I just had trouble seeing, just general seeing, find the small object that was hidden. Then I realized that, I was slightly color deficient, not bad, but slightly color deficient. Couldn't see in the dark, bright daylight, sunlight was often too bright for me. And I knew that I wore really, really thick glasses, like super thick glasses, not just normal thick, but I was out to Coke bottle, and then I was like inventing the next 5-liter Coke bottle thickness or something. So, and then I started to notice that my vision was tunneling in, retina detachment, so I had some blind spots. But, how would I describe my vision now? That's a good question. I would say now it's more pixelated looking, like you're sitting too close to a TV and you see these dots. Bright's still too bright for me, dark's too dark for me, and trying to focus and like read. I need things to be bigger. I need good contrast. I need good lighting, but not too bright. Kind of like what was that? What was the children's story? This bed's too hard. This one's too soft. Yeah. Like I kind of feel like that now. Like I've got to just make things just kind of perfect for me to be able to do what I do. But you figure out ways to do it. Mm-hmm. What about for you?
Mine was a little bit different. They discovered my vision problem halfway through first grade when I was like 5 years old. They originally thought I was being a defiant kid, wouldn't participate in class, wouldn't read the board, wouldn't read the books and whatnot. And it took them months and months to figure out that I couldn't see the textbooks, I couldn't see the chalkboard or the clock on the wall to do the times. And when we went and got it figured out, it was a huge hurdle to try to get things moving forward academically. I had to redo the first grade, start over again, and it's took a while to figure out, but it's a genetic vision problem. My eyes are actually perfect. So if I gave you my eyes, you would see 20/20. So I have like bilateral optic nerve atrophy is the technical term, but I just say it's bad wiring. So my nerves partially deadened, or like a gray nerve is healthy or brown nerve is healthy, mine's gray. So I nearsighted, farsighted at the exact same time. My biggest thing is like people always try to tell me like, what can you see? Or what can't you see? It's like I'll never know what I can't see.
Right. Yeah.
It's like I can tell you what I can see, and then you can kind of figure it out from there. But it's been progressive, degenerative. They told me when I was 10 years old that I'd be blind by the time I was 25. And then diagnoses were updated and technology changed. They said, oh, we should never have told you that. So I've been getting progressively worse. I could go blind. We don't know. But it's genetic.
That's interesting because mine is genetic also. But now that I have a diagnosis, I'm congenital night blindness. congenital stationary night blindness is my official diagnosis, but that doesn't make sense. It makes sense for part of it, but the other half is that I'm so nearsighted. So like when you go to the eye doctor and they put the big black glasses and spin the dial, that only goes up to 20 diopters. And when I had my last pair of glasses made before I had corneal resculpting and cataract surgery and all sorts of other things, my last prescription was -30. So they actually turned the dials all the way to the maximum. They put this thing on the front and they stacked lenses in front. So you had a lens with lens, which creates mathematical error, but they have a formula to figure it out. But I was that bad, you know, and it doesn't look like it now when people see my glasses, but I like crazy thick glasses.
So historically, going to the doctor, no one's ever told me about that maximum, because I've always wondered why they're actually taking slides out and adding it, and adding it, adding it.
Yeah.
No one ever told me that. Yeah.
It's for people like me.
Yeah.
And the other part, so you just said a couple things that were really interesting. So mine is, it certainly looks like it's progressive and degenerative. I mean, it's the way it's worked my whole life now. Theoretically, by my diagnosis, it's not, and it shouldn't be progressing. So like I said, there's something else still in there that they haven't figured out yet. But it's so interesting what you said about, you know, when you were 16, they said 25.
Yeah, or when I was 10, they said I'd be blind by 25.
So about the time I was 10, about when you're 10 is when the doctor kind of talks to you without your parents in the room and all that. And I remember them saying I would be completely blind at 16. And when I was 16, they said 21, and 16, maybe 18, but 21. And, you know, here I am 54 and almost 55. And I still have like 4 or 5% vision in one eye, you know, and like, what a cruel thing to say to people. So if your doctor tells you you're going blind, believe them. Just don't maybe believe the time frame that they're giving you.
It's a guessing game.
Yeah.
Medical practice.
You know, I think they had the best intention. Like, I've never had a doctor I felt like was bad, but on the other hand, I think they're trying to prepare us, but sometimes maybe they induce more trauma than is necessary. At least it was for me. I don't know about you.
It was definitely scary in the beginning, and I was thinking about, you know, one of the things I should have done when I was younger was learn Braille.
Yeah.
I wish I had learned Braille. I could have picked up easier, and then I could have used that a lot throughout life. But
I did study Braille in high school. Well, right at the end of high school, freshman year of college, I went and did the whole Braille course, learned how to read Braille, write Braille. And honestly and truly, it was interesting, but I don't really use it hardly at all in my life. And then they handed me a Braille menu at McDonald's here in Guatemala. And I'm like, I don't know how to read Spanish Braille.
Oh my God. I didn't think, no, the Braille's not Braille in every language.
Yeah. I mean, their contractions have to be different. I don't know what they are, but I was like, really honest and truly, I appreciate you. You're being so kind and so helpful, but that doesn't even work for me. I'm sorry, I don't know Spanish Braille. I can speak to you in Spanish, but I can't read Spanish Braille. So that was a pretty funny moment.
Yeah.
That happened, you know, just here in the last couple months.
I haven't had that experience yet.
Nice.
When you hear each other describe how you see, what's one thing that really stands out as something similar and something else that's totally different?
So I'm going to tell you what I think of our vision. So I think my distance vision and my reading ability is better than yours, but you have way more peripheral vision, and I really hate your height, because if I was your height, I might be able to walk downstairs without having the same level of fear. I'm always jealous.
Yeah. The advantage of being short.
I wasn't saying that out loud.
Oh.
But no, really, if I were 6 inches shorter, that would make such a big difference for me walking downhill or going downstairs. I love going upstairs. I love walking uphill, but my vision's gotten to the point where just that those couple extra inches when I'm having to go downhill, especially when I'm having to do stairs, it's like that's just outside my ability. And so that's kind of frustrating.
There's got to be, especially in this town, in this country, because every stair is different.
Yeah.
Like in the U.S., we know stairs are this height, this far apart.
Right.
And here it's like, who knows? So depth perception is one of my biggest challenges.
Yeah.
And I like the fact that I forget you have a visual impairment.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, we that's the thing is we are the norm for legally blind people.
Yeah.
We don't look like we can't see.
Exactly.
And so I think that's a great thing for people to understand is like we look really super normal until
you're reading something or I walk into something.
Yeah.
And like I recently walked into a really nicely cleaned glass door. Give them credit for cleaning the window that well, but like face first in the door. But people with full sight do that too.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I mean, and I walked in a shopping mall one time. I totally turned. I thought it was the door, and no, it was not.
No.
So yeah, I've done that one. What do you think about our eyesight? What are the things that you notice?
When we're walking down the same path and you have to watch out for various things in the street, whether it's a cobble missing or a dog has done their business in the middle of the street.
Yeah.
And I don't always see it until it's like right there on top of it. And for what I notice a lot is like shadows. I think shadows are our enemy.
Oh, like yeah. Let's get back to shadows because I mean I think we need to talk about shadows, but so I want to come back to that just as a very specific topic.
Yeah.
But shadows, the worst.
Yeah. But I definitely think I can definitely appreciate my peripheral being better than yours. Like I have a one eye advantage on that one.
Well, and so my retinas have died peripherally to centrally. So, yes, I'm missing one eye now, but I also have the tunnel that a lot of people with like retinitis pigmentosa have, and that's what they thought I had originally. They kept saying they thought I had retinitis pigmentosa without pigment. I'm like, that seems like a weird way to say it. Can't you just say retinitis or something? But then later they said, but you can't have retinitis pigmentosa without pigment because of something else. So, but they were like, it's the closest thing. But I definitely continue to tunnel in. And so, yeah, you're peripheral, man. I'm jealous.
Yeah. It's weird to think about it. With like my eyesight condition or mine, my sisters and my nephews, because there's 3 people in my direct family that have it. It's so rare. They really didn't have a category for it. So they try to dump it into another category, which sounds like they were dumping you into a category like a cookie cutter.
Yeah.
And it's not always the same thing. And they got to just try a little bit harder, dig a little deeper. And because so few people have it, there's no money to be made in R&D or the development of products. So it doesn't really get a name, doesn't really get a category. It's just a thing.
Yeah. I understand that because, I think that was one of my most frustrating things growing up is the doctors would look in my eyes and tell me, okay, we see problems, but they could never give me that diagnosis. And I really hate going to an eye doctor and having them say to me, I've never seen anything like this before. Because I was like, that's not good. You don't want doctors ever saying, I've never seen anything, I've never learned anything, I've never heard of anything like you. Because you pretty much know, well, then what are we doing here?
Right.
Yeah.
And it's hard to tell people that my eyes are perfect. And I don't even have age-related eye issues. I don't have that problems where you need cheaters for reading the menu at 40, 50 years old. Like mine's just nerves, and you can't regenerate a nerve, you can't replace a nerve.
But you brought up cheaters.
Yeah.
Should we tell them what we do that's the same but different?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I mean, I've got mine hidden behind me here.
Mine's
So-
always in my pocket.
So we both use +8 to read.
Mhm.
So I do it by putting on my reading glasses, and then, I will just, whatever I need to read, it's right here, bada boom, bada bing.
Mhm.
You do it different.
Yeah, so I have a pocket magnifier. I've tried those,
Uh-huh.
and it's like scratch and sniff with my nose touching the paper type of thing.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm too close. So I actually use the magnifying glass, and I close one eye and I
Mhm.
focus on it. So like I have my phone settings to the max,
Me too.
and I still will zoom in and look at this. People ask me like, "Are you looking for a hidden code? Or are you a jeweler?"
Yeah.
All sorts of things. But without it, I can't function,
Right.
and I lose them. I should be sponsored by Bausch and Lomb, who makes this, because I bought in dozens and dozens and dozens of these things, left them all over the world. Yeah, it's the same concept. Now, do you close one eye, or do you use both? Oh, yeah.
I don't have to anymore.
Yeah.
But so we removed my right eye for various reasons. Ironically, that was my worst eye. It always had problems. It had all the detachments and all that, but it had my best spot for reading. And so when I lost that eye, then I lost my best focal reading point. So yes, when I had to, I actually would close the eye that I still have, and to read, I would use my worst eye, but it had a piece of retina that worked, that was where I need it to be in the center, that gave you that fine reading ability.
Right. Yep.
I can still read, and the other trick that I use, because we were just out at dinner the other night, I didn't bring my reading glasses. I pulled my phone out and I used the app WeZoom, and I just used my phone as my magnifier.
Yep.
And then I didn't have to walk around, with my extra pair of glasses. And that's been really helpful for me, because sometimes I'm out and about and I'm doing things, and life is spontaneous, and your friends say, "Hey, do you want to go?" And I say, "Yeah," and I can go now, and I don't have to have somebody else read the menu to me. As long as it doesn't have, just a horrible background mess that with a weird font that, I'm just like, can you make your menu a little more readable, please?
Yeah. A white font on a light background.
Yeah. Those. Oh man.
But you mentioned the WeZoom. I use the same thing on my phone, but I'll also use it for distance. Like if I need an address or something like that, like I can zoom in, zoom in, zoom in. I can even take a picture and zoom in even more.
Right.
And I can see something that's visible for everybody else, from yards and yards and yards away. And I would normally need to be inches, and I can now be feet.
Yeah.
So,
It's such a cool tip. Like, I remember the first time that I can't even remember why I did it, but I had zoomed, I took a picture, and I grabbed the picture and I zoomed in on the picture. And I was like, wow, now this is really awesome. Like, all of a sudden I've doubled or whatever I've done, but because you do max out on that zoom, but then you take the picture and you zoom within the picture. It really is helpful.
and then with the advancement of these cameras and the phones, it's just getting, like, it used to be pixelated.
Yeah.
Fuzzy.
Yeah.
Now it's sharp and clear, and you can pick out things.
No, Chris, it was always in focus.
Yeah. Just I'm out of focus.
Right.
You
Should we talk about shadows?
Yeah, that's my nemesis.
Oh, I hate shadows.
Before about a year and a half ago, like, I still ride a bike even though I've been told I should not ride a bike. And I was riding a bike, and a tree cast shadow over the street, and I thought it was just a shadow, and it turned out it was a root coming out of the ground, hit it, crashed, wiped out. But I misstep. I step over shadows thinking it's dog poop.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very troubling going into the light, out of the light again, and then got to refocus.
Yeah. Yeah. I've ran into all those things. So my pupils, I may just use plurals because it seems more common and normal in language, even though I have one eye. So my pupils won't change for bright and dark. And so the issue I run into is I always have to wear my hat to block the sun. And then I wear my sunglasses to further block the sun, take the glare out because they're polarized. If any of you have issues with glare and brightness, there's a lens that you should check out. It's called Drivewear. It's made by Bausch and Lomb. I guess Bausch and Lomb has apparently sponsored this video. Or they should. They should. And when they do, we will test all their products for them for free.
Yeah.
But these Drivewear lenses were designed for truck drivers because the issue is the transition lenses don't work without UV. And the truck drivers are sitting behind glass, which takes out almost all the UV. So my sunglasses never go to clear, but they get pretty light. But they will transition with less UV than normal transitions. And they have these little thin metal wires that you can't see, but they're ion angle. And so they take glare and they deflect it. So fishermen wear them, they're called polarized, so they can see in through the water, you can see through fog better, but it takes a lot of the glare out. So for people that are struggling, find a shop that sells Bausch and Lomb lenses, has the Drivewear lens, Costco does it. Lots of eyeglass shops have them. And go see, is it something that's worth your money? Because most people with disability, we're not rich, right?
Right.
And so, it's tough because we want to test this stuff, and the shops tend to have lenses, and you can go out and walk around the parking lot or wherever to see how it works in the sun. So I wear those, but same thing when I walk into a shadow, now I've got sunglasses on, it makes it just all that much harder. And right down here, that tunnel that they've built with the plants, and so there's just speckles of light. I mean, that is probably my worst case scenario, like walking under a tree that's getting light through it, but you've got leaves that are making shadows, and then bright spots where there's no leaf, and it's just light, dark. That's my worst for me.
Right. I feel you on that same spot.
Yeah.
And at nighttime, when you got the street lights coming through, and it's causing light come through, and it gets dark, and it's just weird.
Yeah. It's just so hard. But.
And then I stepped over things that aren't there.
Yeah.
Then I've tripped over things that are there.
The number of things I've tripped over, that would be a long list.
It's always become interesting, and then
you were talking about your bike.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so
my e-bike.
Yeah, and I have had an e-bike. I don't ride anymore. It's been about 11 years since I've ridden my bike. But you never drove, correct? Never. And I did. I drove. I never should have.
Right.
But they gave me my license with a doctor's note because they didn't understand how bad my vision was. And so I did drive, and I'd like to pick up that in our next segment, because I think there's some important pieces talking about growing up. I knew I was going to lose the ability to drive, and I lost that ability pretty quickly. I still drove a little bit here and there, but not much. But then you grew up knowing you would never.
Yeah. It was never like, oh, someday you'll be able to do all the surgery to fix that. Like, it was never like this. They always said that they couldn't do it. Now technology is changing. Medical advancements are changing. Now there's like a glimmer of hope with like stem cell research or something like that. But that no chance driving. Well, now we got driverless cars.
Yeah, I know. I was going to say, now I'm so excited about the automatic driving cars, and I understand why people are worried and concerned. But for us, we're like, give us that, right? Like, give us an amazing amount of freedom, and just like really Uber changed the game for us.
Yeah, it changed my life.
Changed my life.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Gave me freedom.
Yeah. because city bus schedules, you know, or for anybody that's out in a rural environment, still Uber's not great in rural environments, but you know, at least there might be an option. Before, yeah.
Like call a bus wasn't a thing when I was young. The personalized taxi cabs were growing up in the country.
Yeah.
One stoplight town, there wasn't anything like that.
No.
Yeah. We didn't even really have sidewalks. So another interesting challenge.
Yeah, right?
Yep. Yep.
Well, maybe we can pick our next episode up with starting with like driving and thinking about how that, and not driving, and how that really played into our choices and kind of maybe shaped our lives in ways.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
I'm game.
Yep, you too.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Yep.
That was really informative, and looking forward to the next one.